Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the SU-14-2. It's the Tier 8 Soviet self-propelled gun, and it's located on the north spawn of Prokhorovka, and it's being commanded by me. Yes, it's General Disturbance in the Arty, and it's one of my first outings, not one of my first outings, but one of my special outings in the school bus, mostly because what happens during the battle. So, battle has started and I'm headed off to the west area. Now, the SU-14-2 is more commonly known as the school bus, mostly because it looks like a school bus. It can carry vents, and it's got the 203mm howitzer, as you can see. And my teammate, also an Arty, is in the 212A, and that's the Tier 9 Soviet SPG. And we're actually the busiest members of this team, and that will become apparent very shortly. Now, he's also got the 203mm howitzer. Now, if you want to, you can actually see the SU-14-2, because there's a version of it at Kubinka. They didn't mass produce it, they produced some prototypes and they were used in the defense of Moscow. And there's one at Kubinka. I fire a quick round there at the AMX 1390 and I splash him for 284 hit points, and he's taken out virtually immediately afterwards. But that's about all the assistance that I'm going to get from my team. Despite the fact that I hit many of the enemy during this battle, they refuse to fire on enemy targets that I've stunned. So I've got a long reload, 35.5 seconds. I happen to have loaded 16 rounds of ammunition, 2 rounds of premium, 14 rounds of HE, and I do a great job at hitting the enemy, but unfortunately my team refused to hit the enemy, and I got a hit there, 317 hit points on a Tier 10 or a Tier 9 Chinese heavy tank, the Wizzy 11114, and despite the fact that I hit him, he cured his stun straight away. I'm marking him as my target. I'm getting requests to fire on him from my team, but they refuse to hit him, which makes it all the more frustrating, which is why the 212 and myself were the ones who were actually doing most of the carry work during this battle. And my friend in the 212 has just hit him, and I fire a round in and I also get a hit. So he's picked up the stun assistance from my damage on the enemy there. And that's a little way of saying thank you, I think, more because he did the same with some of the other targets that I fired at. And you can see that the Wizzy 11114 just finished his stun. He's still getting requests for fire. I'm marking him as my target. 9 seconds away from shooting. He's hanging there on the edge. Is he going to go down the cliff edge? Oh, he might. I might be able to get him at the bottom. Round out. Yes. Oh, I splash him for 239. He slid down the cliff and I think I've tracked him. And my teammate in the 212 gets the kill. 324 hit points of assistance for me. So we're still working as a good team together. Progetto 46 making his way up to the back end, trying to come up the hill. I've marked him as my target. I think I know where he's going to go. He's going to go to that rocks just at the top. But I'm hoping that once I'm loaded, I'll be able to get a shot in at him. I'm working out where he's going to go. Okay, I'm loaded and round out. Hopefully I should catch him on the way up the hill. And I'm pretty sure that would have landed near him. So I think I probably picked up some stun assist there. Okay, we've got a T10 near the railway line. He's my next target. That's a Tier 9 Soviet heavy. Some say more dangerous than the IS-7. Depends on your point of view, I suppose. But he's my next target. I'm 8 seconds away from shooting. I've marked him. I'm studying his behaviour, working out where he's going to go next, and trying to aim for the point where I expect him to be so he drives back into the shot. I've lost sight of him, so until I get him back, I can't shoot at him. Half the problem with playing Arty is anticipating what the enemy's going to do. Round out. Oh, I thought he was going to go forward. He didn't pull forward. He actually stopped suddenly. And that meant I only got 230 splash instead of a direct hit. And I'm on reload again. And we've got an Emil up at the top of the hill. I've lost sight of him virtually immediately. But in order to help the team on the hill, I need to aim tanks at the enemy tanks that are holding these bushes, which is on the reverse slope of the hill. So I'm marking that as my target. That's my aim point. I'm expecting the Emil to still be there. And the round goes in, and if there was an enemy tank hiding there, he's probably suffering from splash. Going back to the T10 again. Of course, you can see that most of our team have actually held a line along the centre of the map, and they don't appear to be moving forward at all. And they certainly don't appear to be firing on any of the tanks that we aim at. Now I'm aiming for those bushes again, but I've gone back to the T10 because he got hit by the 212. I'm loaded. Round out. Oh, it goes long, but I probably did some damage to the T10. He went unsighted just after I fired, so I may have splashed him. It was a 203mm howitzer shell, and they have got a very big footprint. Following that Emil, he has lost some hit points. There's the Progetto I fired at initially. He's still 100%, so obviously I didn't hit him as he came up the hill. But I'm working out where he's going to go. 6 seconds to shooting. Anticipating where he's going to be, and round out. Oh, he pulls away at that moment. But he gets closer and gets splashed with 314 hit points. It's a lightly skinned Italian premium medium. And I'm still marking him as my target. I'm getting requests for fire. He's taken a big hit and he's been tracked. But I'm still a long way from completing the reload. He's just fired off his entire magazine. But I can see 2 tanks together. And 2 tanks together, you have to take an opportunity, because your shell will actually do twice as much damage if it hits one of them and splashes the other in the process. I'm anticipating they're going to be in that position. Waiting for sign of the enemy to come forward. I've decided to fire anyway. If the Emil was there, he probably did get splashed. But we've lost the tanks that were sighted on the hill. Now we've just got the T10. 20 seconds to go for reload. That T10 is now a one-shot for a direct hit. In fact, actually, he's easy one-shot now for a splash hit. And he's out the game. Now, going back up on top of the hill, there's the AMX-50-100. So I didn't touch him when I fired the shot in. And there's the Progetto. Now he's a one-shot. I can definitely kill him. And the 212 gets the kill. Now I've temporarily come out of aim. Trying to work out where the enemy's going to be. I'm anticipating that the AMX-50-120 is going to come to sight first. And if he's going to come to sight, probably at that tree line there. Well, not the tree line, but the bush line. Note the T10's managed to get up as high as there. Oh, there's the 100. He's actually pulled a long way back. And there's the Emil 2 as well. So I'm moving carefully. Work out where he's going to go. Round out. And it's a big splash near him. 336 hit points. 2 critical hits. And I've now switched to a T-110E4. That's an American Tier 10 tank destroyer. And he's on the west side of the map on that slope. He's using the ridgeline there to conceal his position from the charioteer. But I don't think he's moved very far. The enemy's been spending most of their time destroying enemy tanks that are right in the enemy rear. We've lost a fair number of our tanks there, and the scores are fairly even. But I've switched back because the Emil 2 has been sighted near the railway line crossing. Okay, we've got the enemy back again. It's the T-110E4. So he's a turreted tank destroyer. But he can only turn his turret a certain direction. Round out. Bit late. But I splash him for 264 and he's tracked. And at this point I was expecting my teammate to fire on him, as he was sitting there, a sitting duck. But nobody shot. In fact, nobody even bothered to look. And now we've got an Object 277. He's aiming up at the hill. I'm 15 seconds away from shooting. I've only got 4 rounds of standard ammo left. I used up the 2 premiums. I think I was using up those premium rounds when I actually fired up at the hill to get a bigger splash. And I've lost sight of the enemy there, but I can see the T110E4. Okay, almost used up all my ammo. 4 shots left. Dialing in on T110E4. Round out. Direct hit. 347 hit points right into his side. He's tracked. He's stationary. And my team are doing absolutely nothing. They're not shooting at him. They can't even see him. They're not bothering to move forward. That enemy tank is still there. I'm certain of it. Okay, we'll have untracked now. And now we've got the Object 277. He's at the center line. He's crossing over. He's trying to get to the Emil. I'm 6 seconds away from shooting. He's going to ram the Emil. He does. And I think the Emil's going to go down. I'm loaded, but I can't shoot. I can shoot now. Round out on the Object 277. I splash him. 279. My team then finished the 277 off. So I picked up some assistance there. Okay, there's the E4. He's down to 44%. And we can see where the rest of the enemy team are. There's a Borsig there. Right at the back. These lightly skinned vehicles. Worth shooting at a lightly skinned vehicle. You do a lot more damage to them. But we've lost sight of him now. I think the UNES is not close enough. And I need to relocate. I need to get a better aim on the targets. And I was worried that the enemy might decide to come up the west side as well. So I thought, no, I'm not going to stick around here. I'm going to move and I'm going to try and get to the enemy cap as well, if I can. We've got control of the railway line crossing in the southeast corner of the map. I can't cut a just straight route because obviously I'll be seen by that T110E4. So I'm going to have to go around the railway crossing. We haven't got sight of the enemy at the moment, so I can't shoot at anything. I'm reloaded but ready to go. I've only got 2 rounds of ammo left. 2.6k of damage already. And of course my friend in the 212 has also been working extremely hard. He's got 5 kills. 5 kills off the enemy that he's been hitting. And I think a lot of the enemy that he was hitting were the same tanks that I was hitting. Okay, cross the railway crossing. So we're basically in safe territory now, because this side of the map is under our control. And as soon as we spot the enemy, I can deal with them. AMX-13-105 is moving forward. He's spotted the E4. Okay, so I can take a shot at the E4. I'm lining up, dialing in. Marked him as my target. That's the 212. No, I'm going for him. The 212's hit him. Round out on the E4. Oh, it goes long! It sailed right over the top of his turret. That was so unfortunate there. I was hoping I might be able to hit him and give the 212 some more damage assistance. And the E4's gone down. He was taken out by the T-49. Okay, the Borsig's in sight. I've only got 1 round of ammo left. I'm gonna have a shot at him. Okay, I'm in the village. Oh, and he's killed before I can fire at him. But that does leave the AMX-13-105. There's still 3 enemy left. 2 Arty, 1 light tank. The 13-105's the light tank. He was seen in this vicinity. The AMX-13-105 and our team should spot them very shortly, and then I can go after one of them. If it's an Arty, I can kill them. 1 shot. FV-3805, Tier 9 British SPG, and it's a kill. 232, and that's my first kill of the game, would you believe it? And it's also, I'm out of ammo, so all I can do now is cap. And to do that, I'm going to try and get onto the enemy side, and that's the end of the game. They've killed the last enemy, and it's all over. So it's a victory. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats for this one. And it's an ace tanker. This was my first ace tanker in the school bus. Ace Tanker for general disturbance in the SU-14-2. I also picked up a Bruiser Medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. I got 19 in that battle. I also scored a Gore's Medal because I did more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points of my own vehicle. And I also picked up a Confederate because I hit more of the enemy than anyone else, at least 6 tanks subsequently taken out by other team members. And most of the tanks that were hit by me were also taken out by the 212A on my team, and I'm very grateful that he did, because the rest of the members of my team seemed to be doing nothing when we hit the enemy. So the win rate for that was 4680. Let's have a look at the scores. Well, I got the highest amount of damage overall on the in the battle. I didn't pick up the high caliber though for some reason. Must have been less than 20% of the enemy hit points, because I don't think I damaged any of my own team. No, I didn't. I did 3,948 hit points of damage overall. So I think some of my shots at the enemy did connect, the blind shots. I did get 1 kill. My teammate in the 212, he got 2,348 hit points of damage and 5 kills, would you believe it? Only just behind me on XP. I got the highest XP on my team, 1,190. The T49 got 1,085. He actually did pick up an All-X medal for killing higher tier opponents. And the 212A, he managed to get 1,039 experience points in total. So let's have a look at the detail report, see what actually happened. Well, I fired all 16 rounds of ammunition in my magazine. I got 3 direct hits, 3 penetration, but 12 splash. I did damage of 3,948 hit points, all at more than 300 meters. I hit 9 of the enemy. That's nearly, well, it's 3/5 of the enemy team, but only killed 1 of them. I did stun assistance of 586 hit points, so that's incredibly low for 14 stuns, and shows why the rest of my team were not hitting enemies that we touched. We were hitting the enemy all right, it's just they weren't even bothering to shoot at our guys. And we wondered during the battle, or at least I wondered, why the rest of my team wasn't bothering to engage the enemy once we stunned them. 14 stuns is a huge number of stuns, and that's such a tiny amount of stun assistance from those 14 stuns. On a premium account, I earned 54,014 credits in that battle. After that resupply of ammunition, and the ammunition is expensive for the SU-14-2. 26,740 credits to refill the magazine, and I had premium consumables of 20k for food, extra food and rations. And that meant I only took away 7,274 credits for that battle. But I did earn 6 bonds during that battle, and 1 of those was for the Confederate, and 5 was for the Gore's medal, because it was at tier 8. I received 1,785 XP, times 2 for the first victory of the day, meant I took away 3,570 experience points altogether. But I think this was a lesson that you see the school bus. If you are forced to work hard because your team is so lazy and not bothering to shoot at the enemy, you can use up all your ammo before the battle ends. And in fact, actually, this battle only took 13 minutes 51 seconds. They only had a minute left to go. Or 2 minutes, well, a minute and 9 seconds left to go on the battle. So the amazing thing is that even with all that, I managed to use up all of my ammo, and all I could do then under those circumstances was to cap for my team in order to help win. But it was taking the rest of my team an awful long time to kill those enemy. So if you enjoyed this replay, I certainly didn't enjoy the battle. I thought it was a tremendous amount of hard work, and I wondered why my team wasn't bothering to shoot. I got very, very jaded towards the end and thought, well, I'm going to have to do the battle all myself and go down to the enemy end and cap. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay, and I hope it will be a better replay than this one at the end in the next video. Thank you.